Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Greetings and welcome to episode 253 of Voices from the Bench. My name is Elvis.
My name's Barbara, but you had a different tone in your voice just now. What's up with that?
Did I?
You sounded more serious.
I think it's the cold air. We are in a winter storm freeze right now.
And what does that mean to Barbara in Tampa?
Well, let's see. Wednesday, I had to go down to Louisville, and they were predicting anywhere from 4 to 7,000 inches.
Holy shit. 7,000?
No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
That's what it sounds like. I think they predicted like 4 to 9.
Wow.
And I left like 2 hours early to go down there, and it was super early. And then we ended up getting 2 inches, and it was really dumb.
Don't people say we talk about the weather too much?
I don't know. Do we?
I don't know.
So this is our first time talking since Vision. How was it?
Fantastic.
Yeah, I saw a lot of great
I mean
pictures
that.
online.
Seriously. It was just great energy, just really good speakers, a lot of just networking and talking to people and seeing people I haven't seen. And Miss Heather did amazing. It was just really, I always come back from a meeting just pumped up, and I feel pumped up. Hopefully I sound like I am.
You sound enthusiastic.
Thank you. If you act enthusiastic, you will be enthusiastic.
Well, there were a lot of people attending?
Yeah, there was just a full house.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Great.
Yep.
Great, because I know it's been down a little bit because of COVID, like everything in the world.
A couple people said they heard it from Voices from the Bench, so I was proud of that.
Really?
Yes.
People actually listen.
Picked up a couple attendees from, us talking about it, so I was proud of that.
Nice.
One of them was from Alaska. It's a long damn way.
It is a long way, but I see why they went to Las Vegas in January.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, we missed you, just saying.
It was hard not to go, but there'll be other ones. I'll be there next year. Timing was off. So who was the best speaker? Did one stand out over the other?
I liked the keynote speaker. I think his last name was Wynn. He was funny, he was engaging, and he was just really, really good.
Non-dental, right?
Yeah, he was fantastic.
That's cool.
Lots of energy, man. You would have loved him.
Yeah, usually those professional speakers, man, they bring it. And they bring it hard.
Oh, he brought it. Let me tell you. You could feel it, man. When he entered the stage, it was like, boom!
No!
Yeah.
You're like, it's too early.
No, I behaved. I was good. I felt good all weekend.
Nice. So that's great. So we are now officially 1 month away from LMT Lab Day Chicago.
Yes, sir.
So I don't think we've ever mentioned this before, but
here we go.
Barb and I will be there Friday and Saturday, recording as many people as possible in the Ivoclar Ballroom AB.
In the Ivoclar Ballroom.
I think the AB is because there's like 2 suites they pull together, the A and the B, and it becomes AB.
Well, it's their 100th year anniversary.
Can you believe
They're
that?
going to be just celebrating, and they have great people there, a bunch of great speakers, clinics. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. So, of course, the both of us are going to be at the Cal Lab, which is another great meeting happening that same week. And then as soon as that's over, we're going to shoot over to the Hyatt and hang out with our Ivoclar friends and record anybody that stops by.
So stop by.
Yeah, this is where Barb rocks. If you look at us, you're being pulled in.
Yes, you are.
So this is a great chance to see some, as you mentioned, fantastic speakers. They're going to have all their great equipment out. Check out some of their amazing products, and we're going to have some limited edition swag.
I do believe they are.
It's amazing. So all you got to do is stop by the Grand Ballroom AB and come find us. Sit down, put on the headset, and tell us your story. And from what I see online, all the companies are doing some major hyping. This Chicago is going to be huge.
I can't wait.
It's going to be like pre-pandemic, even bigger in size and craziness. I really believe it's going to be huge.
Yep.
So don't miss out. Go 1 month from now. So this week we have another great conversation that unfortunately, Barb, you had to miss due to the fact that you actually work.
I was working.
Yes, I know.
You know.
And I know you hate to miss these, and we hate it when you miss them.
I really do.
Because I got to come up with all the questions. And that's hard to do. So this week, I got to talk to a German technician that now runs the marketing and education for Candulor out of Switzerland. When we line up these interviews, there's a lot of texting going back and forth, and he was really kind of nervous about his ability to speak English. But honestly, when you hear this, you're going to think he did a better job than I did.
I'm sure that's not too hard.
He had nothing to worry about. It's a fantastic conversation. So Alexander Ewert, which I'm sure I'm getting wrong, he started his career as a dental technician learning the craft. After discovering his allergic reaction to monomer, he left the lab to go work in advertising. After a couple years of working in non-dental products, Alexander soon realized he wanted to get back into dental. Now he's in Zurich, Switzerland. Alexander is with Candulor. This company has been making denture teeth since the 30s, starting with one porcelain tooth line. Now they have expanded to meet the needs of all removables, with more variations of teeth, but also colorful acrylics and all the tools you need to make removables. Alexander talks about the history of the company, the products they sell, and how they treat education by putting on the Swiss School of Prosthetics in so many different countries.
Nice.
So join us as we chat with Alexander from Candulor. Are you attending the LMT Lab Day show in Chicago from February 23rd to the 25th, 2023? If not, you should, because Ivoclar is going to be there to celebrate their 100-year anniversary in the dental industry.
In the Ivoclar Grand Ballroom A and B, get up close and personal with Ivoclar digital technology, materials, and the epic speaker lineup.
Learn firsthand from many of the industry's leading dental professionals as they share their tips and tricks for success. Come and hear from the greats like Lee Kolb,
Esther Schwenning,
Yuki Moma, Dr. Ed McLaren,
Eric Kukuchka,
and so many more.
For a full list of speakers, simply visit lmtmag.com or the link on this episode and register today.
But don't just go for that. Make sure you stop by and come and see us, Voices from the Bench, as this will be our home on February 24th to the 25th. Come by and say hi, record with us, and tell us what inspires you, or heck, just give Ivoclar a happy 100-year shout-out on the podcast. We'll see you there, and as always, we appreciate your support of the podcast, Ivoclar. Voices from the Bench. The interview. Ewert.
Ewert, yeah.
Ewert.
Ewert, yeah.
Ewert.
Yeah.
We're going to go for it.
Okay.
We are excited to have on the podcast today somebody from a company that I know has been mentioned on this podcast very often, but honestly, I don't know much about it. The lab I was in never really used the product, so I'm excited to learn a lot more about Candulor. Am I saying that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, Candulor. Excellent. Joining us is Alex Ewert.
Yes, thank you
Close
for
enough?
having me. Yes, it's right. It's totally right. So,
Well, people are going to learn real quick from your accent. You're not from the United States.
not really, no. And I'm not from Switzerland too. So I'm from Germany.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about Candulor's history. Like I mentioned, I don't know anything about it other than there's denture teeth. But give us a little history of Candulor and how you got involved with them.
If you remember Dentity, so this is our main business. So
Okay.
Yes. Candulor is a Swiss company, so original Swiss company, and coming from 1936.
36. Wow.
Yes, it's a really long history. So, and really exciting because when I was a dental technician, actually a long time ago, this was my starting point to get in touch with Candulor. And I never thought that I would become a member of Candulor later on, almost, I would say 15 years later. So Candulor, We have our main little headquarter here in Zurich, near the airport, and our main business are dentures. We have a lot of dentures. We have 4 tooth lines. We have a long history with the United States. And that's the reason you might not remember Candulor, but we might remember some other names, so like Swissident or Geneva 2000, for the people that used it really in the past,
Oh, so it was over here in the States. It just went under a different name.
It was a different kind of cooperation. So in the 50s, you remember Dr. Frosch?
Yes, I've heard that name. Yes.
And he's who invented the company Swissident.
Okay.
And there was a cooperation then in the 50s, and Candulor produced the tooth lines for the United States and for the market.
Yeah, take me back to the 30s. Were there a lot of denture teeth makers back then? I can't imagine that there was.
Honestly, I don't know, but
Okay.
I think we were one of the first who did porcelain teeth from Switzerland. So was really unique that at that
Yep.
time. And until last year, we produced the porcelain teeth over 80 years.
You were
So
still making porcelain teeth last year?
until last year, yes.
Wow. What finally made you stop?
Um,
Like nobody's buying it?
yeah, there are fans out there,
Oh,
of
I know there
course.
are. Yeah.
And yeah, if you know porcelain teeth, so they're made as they has been done like in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, so always the same process, so it hasn't been changed. But there are other materials, as you know, like resin and composite, that is more comfortable to produce. And
Mm-hmm.
with the denture base material and the connection with the teeth and so on, so it's better manufacturing, to make dentures. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is with porcelain teeth, and when we said, yeah, we have to quit it because of regulation parts as well for the future. As you know, in Europe, I don't know how you get involved with the European market, but we have the medical device regulation, you have the FDA,
Yep.
and so on, and we have our rules, and it's really a lot of work behind that to get all the papers done, to bring the products into the market. And we have some changes here, and we decided, so it's this kind of tooth line. We cannot do it anymore, but we have enough tooth lines in our portfolio so that we can compensate that.
Yeah, I can't imagine that you were still selling a lot of porcelain teeth.
It was until the end. We had, of course, our fans, and
Yeah.
of course, every customer is value to us. But I know that a few customers complains then later on, oh,
Of
my
course.
tooth lines,
Yeah.
as it always is. But yeah, you have to make a decision as a company. Somehow, but I think we have other tooth line, the composite tooth line, the Physio Star, for instance. So you can take this tooth really good to compensate porcelain teeth. So it's okay.
So is that how it started with the porcelain tooth? Was there just
Yes.
one line?
Yes, this is how it started. And of course, in these years, in these over 80 years, we had a lot of tooth lines. And actually, I have a book in front of me here that we have done for the 80th anniversary in
Nice.
2016. And there's our history inside. So I thought I'd bring it with me here because I don't have everything in my
No,
mind.
sure. I didn't expect you to be around in the 30s.
And of course, with this kind of company, a lot of things getting lost with the people who have done the job in the past, But we tried to collect everything what we had and to combine that in that book. And of course, there were a lot of tooth lines. And if you had a look or have a look like I have on these pictures and how they look in the past and how they look now, and how the demand of the customers has changed. So in the past, the teeth were brown,
Yeah.
and it's really
Yeah.
unusual for you in the market anyway, because you like more the bleach colors,
Yeah.
the shades. So for here in the European market, they like a natural look. Of course, if they get their dentures, customers are different. So I would like to look nicer than before. The other people say I would like to look natural, that they don't see that I have a denture. So it's really different.
So is Candulor named after a person?
Actually, when the company started, it was a businessman and a dental medailleur. Today you would say a dental or a tooth designer, you know.
Oh, a dental
And
miller. Nice.
yeah, and these two guys created that company here in Zurich, Steen and Zech Zahnfabrik. So
I'm going to let you say that name. Yep.
so how we call it in German. And yeah, it was a tooth company, and I think there were around 300 people in the past sitting and creating these porcelain teeth. So
Really?
layer by layer, and until in the 60s, then they created the name Candulor, actually.
And does that stand for something?
Yes, it does. So it's coming from the Latin words like candidus, candor, and or. So it's like brightness and gold. You're
Oh,
shining
nice.
like gold, something like that. So
Yeah.
it's a connection, few different and yeah, it's a connection out of few words. So
Sure.
candidus, candor, and or, a French word.
Nice. That
It is an idea behind that.
No, absolutely. So you mentioned you were a lab technician. So what got you into dental?
It's quite a long time ago. So it was 1997. I started my career as a dental technician. It was a short career, I have to say.
Yeah.
I I could decide actually. My mom told me then you can move to Berlin or to your sister's town. So of course I decided to move to my sister's town because it was far away from home. Um, I was 17, so I wanted to move out, and I got my own apartment, and I had to choose between three, labs, and I decided to go in the smallest one. So to become a dental technician. And actually, I was always into removable, actually. So because I like to set up teeth, I never liked to create crowns and so on. I had to, of course, for my apprenticeship, so that
Mm-hmm.
means I needed to do that, but I always liked removable to set up teeth to create the full denture in the end until it's glossy.
Yeah.
And I did that in Germany is 3.5 years. You have to learn that. And in the end of the second year, I got an allergy to methylmeta-acrylat,
Oh.
so monomer.
Yeah, yeah. Was it a bad allergy?
It was really bad because on my fingertips, they got open due
Ooh.
to the monomer. So
Yeah.
I had to work with gloves, of course,
Mm-hmm.
to protect myself.
It's
It
hard.
was really yeah, it's hard
Yeah.
because it's complicated. When you're on the polishing machine to work with gloves, it's not easy because it's rubber and so on. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
easy to do that, and you need your feeling in your fingertips to create the work, actually. So it was not easy, and that was the reason I decided to do it until the end.
Mm-hmm.
But I quit the job and said I do something different, totally different, actually,
Out of dental.
out of dental.
Wow.
I decided for advertising, and I did another training to go into advertising agency to
Yeah.
become a businessman in advertising, and moved to Munich and went into event and PR agency.
Sure, sure.
And this was my second training. And later on, I got in a bigger agency for regular radio spots and advertising movies and so on, and had great clients actually. Studied in between communications and did my master. And yeah, always thought about, what about the dental industry again? And later
Yeah.
on, when I almost finished my master, I decided in Hamburg to go into the dental industry again and combine both jobs. So I have on the one side the dental technician, on the other side my marketing education part, and so I could really combine that job and for a dental company very good.
Yeah, it's always nice when people do the marketing to know what a dental technician is. So there's a lot of companies out there that have marketing people that have no idea.
It's really for my job, it's really helpful. So I know how a dental technician feels. Even it's been a while, you know.
Once it's in your blood, it's always in your blood.
Yeah, it really is. So
Yep.
you say once in the industry, you stay in the industry, you know. And it's like that.
Yeah.
But it was good that I learned something different because I did a lot of advertising for food companies, for something like Mars, milk, chips, and so
Yeah.
on.
How do you advertise milk? I mean, really?
Milk
People either want it or don't. I don't understand.
was a milk company actually was selling. It was a really famous one in Germany. Yeah, you do radio spots and you have created a look for the milk, and to shoot milk it's not really easy because it becomes gray when you shoot
Yeah,
milk.
I
So
bet.
and today you do a lot in CGI and create something like that before you shoot it in real, you know.
Yeah.
But no, it's not easy. It's not the best thing I would say in my life what I have done. But it was my job and it was interesting at that time, you know. Yeah, but I combined it again. So I started really in that dental company in Germany and was really helpful. And it is today to understand the people, to talk actually with dental technicians, to create advertising for dental technicians. It's really helpful to understand what they do in their job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, was Candulor your first stop back into the dental industry?
No, it was DMG Dental in Hamburg.
Okay, I'm not familiar with them.
I think they have a company in the United States, DMG America. Their famous product is Luxa Temp.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's
Okay.
more clinical products, you know.
Sure. Sure.
Yes, this was actually my first step into the dental industry then again.
Okay. And how long were you there?
3 years as a product manager.
I bet you learned a lot more about dental in that
Yes,
space. Yeah.
yes, I did. I was responsible for cementation. It was, you know, when you're a dental technicians, yeah, parts, just parts. But if you
Yeah.
go into a dental industry and to a industry company, then you learn a lot about more, regulations and how they produce the products and how the quality management behind is a lot of work actually, even today, even more.
Yeah.
But yeah, what can I say? It was a really good step inside the industry. But later on, a friend of mine called me and said, "Would you like to come to Switzerland?" And
Mm.
I decided to move to Switzerland then.
So that was moving on to Candor. So what year was that?
Actually, yeah, let me think. In June, I'm 10 years in Switzerland. So
Wow.
almost 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I moved to Switzerland.
So I take it going to the website candor.com. This
Yes.
whole look is you?
This whole look comes from my side. Yes, I'm
Yeah.
responsible for that. We're changing that look at the moment a little bit more again. But when I took over Candulor a few years ago, so almost 10 years ago, actually, it was not that look. So I changed it and to make it fresher. And now I changed it again after 8 years, I think, to make it even a little bit more fresher again. So you always have to work on the brand.
Because right now I'm seeing lots of sharp angles and triangles, and is
Yes.
that all changing?
Yes, it's
Okay.
changed. It will change a little bit more. Yeah. It comes more color inside, I would say.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what about some of the other products? I mean, you talk a lot about denture teeth, but I know I've heard of Candulor and a lot of other stuff.
Yes. Of course, we are in the part of removable. So we have our tooth lines. This is our main business. And
Sure.
we have in this area of removable, we have, of course, a denture base material with one famous color. This is the color 34. This was actually invented by Candulor in, I think it was the 80s.
The color of acrylic?
Yes.
Interesting.
And the semi-transparent color 34. So was really a big thing in the 80s. So at the beginning, so you had pink, and of course you always use pink, or at the moment you still use pink
Oh,
in
yeah.
different kind in different countries, but the more natural one is of course the 34, and because it's semi-transparent and it makes a more natural look. And Candulor is actually famous for the characterization of dentures. We have a lot of colors in our suitcase that we try, or our customers try, and it needs a lot of time to improve your skills there to make a denture natural. And therefore, you need a lot of colors.
So what do you mean? There's colors you add to the acrylic to get that more natural?
Yes, we have intensive colors. You can put intensive colors inside to make it more natural. So if you have a look, actually, at the moment on the website, we can go inside and have a look on these intensive colors. So there's blue, there's white, there is black, there's brown, there's a little bit orange, there's yellow, so that you
Wow.
create colors and make the denture natural. But we also have the colors 53, 55, and 57. So this is a premix, so that you can use these shades. So the English word now.
No, it's all
Um,
good. Yeah, so it's a more common mix
Yeah,
to be used.
because on the base you take the 34, but if you want to characterize these dentures, you take the 53, for instance, on the tooth, and later on the 55, and then the 57 to make it more the shades more natural, like the original gingiva is.
Is it put in before processing or is it painted on after?
There are actually both ways possible. You put it actually into the flask. You prepare
Yeah,
yourself as you usually do. You take an instrument and put it on the teeth. And of course, you have to have it in mind, or you can draw a little bit before where you would like to put it. So you have to have a picture for yourself,
mm-hmm.
for the patient, and you have to know the patient. I don't know how you work, and there are different kind of workflows, but usually you get pictures maybe, or you saw the patient. If you're a denturist, for instance, or
Sure.
prosthodontics, you see the patient and you see how the gingiva looks like. And this is where you maybe can do a picture and take it with you to create the denture more natural with the gingiva. And yes, you put it into a flask, and later on you press it, or you whatever kind of technique you use,
Yeah.
hot or cold technique, you can put it inside with the denture base material 34 then. Or you just do the base, you press the denture, and later on you do a cutback, and then you put the material on the denture again. It's the same result in the end.
Yeah, but you're putting the same acrylic on the acrylic. So
Yes.
it's like actually bonding to it rather than painting on something
Yes.
later.
Yeah. It's bonding. It's the same material, so it's not like other companies sell for a composite material. So
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
composite
of.
on
Yeah.
resin. No. So you are in the same family, your material family.
Are you guys the only people that do this? Why have I not heard of this? That you can add color pre-processing. I know I'm not a removable technician, but I've never heard of this.
No, you haven't. So
No.
no, I don't think we're the only company, but it's really a heritage of our company. So
Yeah.
even you can characterize teeth as well. So of course you mill the teeth and make it more unique to the customers.
Yep.
Or later on you can paint a little bit the teeth to make it look more natural, more shadows, and so that they look a little bit older, or that you know what I mean. So it depends on the customers. I know not every customers would like to have that, but what I think is really important is the characterization, because it really looks natural
Absolutely.
in the end.
The more unique you can make it, the less it looks like a denture.
Yes, and it
Yeah.
takes time, and training in the end as well, because it's nothing that you see once and okay, I do that from day to tomorrow, but you need to train that. Maybe you do a little model into your laboratory and
Well, I mean, that's a great segue into talking about training. The whole reason we connected was because of Stefan from Edmonds, who does the
yeah,
Swiss School of Prosthetics. We had him on the podcast doing some
yes.
fantastic courses out there. But from what I understand, these courses are done everywhere. And Candor, you guys are the ones that put all this together.
I wish actually what you said everywhere. So we are not
Well, yeah.
well,
I'm
but I like your idea behind that. Yes, we try. We try.
Yeah, maybe not everywhere, but a lot of different places other than Springfield, Missouri is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. The idea, and of course, is a partner concept, and Stefan is one of our teachers in the States, and we are really happy about that. What they have done in Missouri, Springfield, because they have a really nice training center.
Oh, it's beautiful. I've been there. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
cool. Yes, and he's doing the courses for us. And the Swiss School of Prosthetics was an idea few years ago. We invented because we had some, I wouldn't say luxury problems, but that was the time there was one piece in the whole makeover of Candulor was left.
Yeah.
And as a marketing person, I came to that project and I said, what do we do? And of course, there's a lot of talking inside that company, a lot of talking outside with universities, with schools, with customers. And we always thought, we have to bring it on a higher level and we have to solve the problems out there, because we saw that there's a lack of knowledge in removable, and
Mm-hmm.
this lack of knowledge in removable getting bigger and bigger, because what we saw that for the European part as well, that the old masters that we had, for instance, even within our companies, they die out. They're getting older and older. They're over
Oh, yeah.
70, 75 at the moment. So
Yeah.
we worked with Peter Lerch, with Max Bosshardt, with Jörg Stuck. They're really famous in the European area,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all over 70, 75 right
Yeah.
now. And we had the feeling we have to do something. We have to take that knowledge and to put it into books, into new courses, and to create a new concept that is valuable to the customers.
Yeah.
And so we created the Swiss School of Prosthetics. We created a whole new brand because we said, okay, we would like to separate from Candulor a bit, and made an own website, an own concept. And we said, okay, we start with basic courses. With these 5 basic courses we have, so the clinical foundation of full dentures is a real theory course. Then you have the technical base or foundation of full dentures. This is a theory course as well. It's only for technicians. And then you have 2 setup courses, and then a final course where you make the denture. And this is actually our base that we created. And of course, there will be much more in the future, creating advanced courses, workshops, and preparing ourselves for more.
So when this idea came up, was it meant for technicians, or was the idea for clinicians, or was it always like a joint concept?
It was always like for both,
Okay. Yeah.
because even clinicians need to know about the removables, and there's as you have in North America as well, I think there are few states where there dentures allowed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's like
And
5 or 6. Yeah.
yes, and here in Europe as well. And of course, they can do all courses, and even a dentist can do all courses. A dentist, because we are part of universities here as well, and we do courses there, and we teach students how to set up a course. They need to know that.
Yeah, they do.
Because they get the work from the lab and have to have a look on the work and the re-occlusion later on, and they have to know what they do. So of course they should know how to set up teeth and what's important on that. And this is why we created courses for everyone.
So you're actually a part of the universities out there.
Yes, we are actually guests at universities. They invite us for
Oh,
courses.
okay. Yeah.
And we help them to teach. For us, it is really important because we would like to have this knowledge accessible. This is
Yeah.
really a main thing for the Swiss School of Prosthetics, that the people have a point and a company they can rely on when they would like to learn something. And this is what Stefan is fulfilling right now. They can rely us on in the United States, and we do that here in Switzerland. We do it in Germany. We do it in the Netherlands and in Belgium right now, and there are more to come.
Yeah, that sounds like everywhere to me.
Yeah.
Who's easier to teach, dental students or dental technicians?
Honestly, I don't teach by myself, so
the correct answer is dental technician.
Yeah, it's depending on the course, maybe, but
that's a good point. Yeah,
and it's not. I think it's depending on the person. If a person would like to learn something, it's easy to teach.
Yeah. Who takes the courses more? Technicians or clinicians, do you think? Do you know?
In the States at the moment, I think we do a lot of clinician courses.
Okay.
Here in the European market, we are more into technician courses. Yeah, and denturists actually.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a little change because what we do in the German market, for instance, is we go inside the lab
to teach it.
To teach, yes.
Oh, so you actually go into individual labs and teach
Yes.
them the technique. Oh, there you go. Why only Germany?
It's one of our home markets. We have a company in Germany as well, and a sales team and teachers inside that market. Of course, it's really easy, and because it's easy to connect to Switzerland. And this was actually our starting point, and it's a changing market. In the past, you did a lot of dates for courses on the website, and then the people don't have the time at that course, and you have to reconnect, and we find it easier to go into the lab and directly and say, okay, if you have some people who would like to learn something, we come into the lab. It's it's easier to organize than to find a point to an external lab where we can teach.
Yeah. Any plans on bringing that to the States?
That depends on our partner.
It'd be great to have something like that in the States. There's not enough removable education happening in labs.
I think it would be possible. Of course, you have a bigger market in the meaning of it's a few times bigger than Germany. Germany is easier to travel.
Sure. Yeah.
And but if the need is there, of course, it's one way to do.
Just keep the option there, man.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. It's really important. It's good that you say that because you have you working in the lab, or have you your own lab?
I work at labs, yeah.
Okay. And yeah, it's really a good thing, to work directly because you see the workflows then directly too.
Yeah, and I just know that education is really important. And I know that removable, I don't think any lab would turn down an opportunity to have someone come in and teach removable. I think they would be dumb to turn it down. So keep the option open.
Yes, we do.
We were talking about teeth and acrylic. What
Yes.
else does Candulor carry? I see a few things on the website.
So these are the biggest part actually. So then, of course, we have some tools, so like an articulator. We have registration sets, 3 actually. Then we have, do you know the rim former?
Oh, yeah. Did Candulor invent the rim former?
Yes, it comes from us.
Like the very first one?
It's a good question. I think it's coming from us, but
That would be cool. That thing's a staple in every removable department.
actually, what I really know and what we invented with Dr. Frush was a papillometer.
That thing that measures between the
Yes,
lip and the nose,
actually,
or
that thing, yes.
yes. No kidding. I didn't know that.
So this is really coming from us, and of course, it's copied by other companies, but that's the way it sometimes is. But this is coming from us.
I had no idea you guys invented the papillometer. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
Papillometer, yeah.
yeah. This is it's coming from us. It is still get used, and it's important. Of course, we have polish liquids and paste to make all things glossy. We have wax in our portfolio too, even characterized colored wax
Nice.
to make the denture even for the try-in that colorful, what I said before, for the characterization. So that you have really, that the gap is not that high, so and that they can see what they can expect.
Yes. The colored wax is actually becoming quite popular. I'm seeing it more and more used online and social media. Patients getting that, more finished look at wax trying.
Yeah. Yes. So this is what we have in our portfolio, and let me think. This is almost close. So of course we have tooth cabinets. We have shade guides for the teeth and so on. But
I mean, basically, somebody could get everything you need to make a denture from you.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Isolation, stippling instrument. Then, of course, we have 2 flasks in our portfolio, and we have a static pointer. It's really a unique product too that you can use to find the deepest point and to do a setup. It's really, maybe a little bit too complicated to.
What's it called?
A static pointer.
A static pointer. Okay.
Yes. For like checking the autonomous chewing stability of the of posterior teeth. So it's not easy to explain like in a podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get you. I bet you all the removable techs listening right now are like, yeah, I know what he's talking about.
Yeah. As I am a dental technician 15 years ago, it's not easy for me to explain anymore.
No, but you know how to make them look pretty online.
Yeah, that's my job. Yeah, of course, we have a mixing tray. Yeah, this is actually it. Everything around to make dentures and to make them look good and natural.
Yeah, some of the dentures that I see on your site, but even off your site saying they use your product, those are some crazy realistic looking dentures. Just absolutely stunning.
When you go, for instance, I don't know if it's online. Yes, it is. You know the Kunsthandwerk competition? Have you ever heard about it?
I have not, no.
Actually, we do that over 20 years. I think we started 1999.
Oh, I see it here on, yeah.
Yes, and if you go a little bit below, every 2 years to the IDS, we do a competition.
Oh, it happens at IDS?
Not happens at the IDS, we show it at the IDS,
Oh,
the
nice.
final
Okay.
the final results. And this is a competition. It's really a big thing for our marketing and for the people out there. We have really fans that participate all the time when we do that. And even we have people from the United States as well, all over the world. So usually we get registrations, so 100, 150 people all over the world that register for the Kunsthandwerk competition.
150?
Yeah,
Wow.
and then we create every time we looking for a case, for a challenge that the people can join, and they don't know when they registered for that. They get a package. I think they got the package last year in August, end of August, beginning of September. So then they have about 3 or 4 months to prepare that case.
Do you provide the models and the product?
We provide the tooth lines,
Yep.
we provide the models, and we provide pictures about the patient, telling a little bit about the case, and we tell the people what to do in the meaning of what is the challenge,
Yeah.
how the denture should look like. So, but this is what they got. They have to send it back by the end of January. So, in actually, I think
They better hurry.
yeah, they better hurry because it's not easy. We maybe people from Brazil, they have to think I have to send it now because it takes time.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
So they have to be in our German company, by the end of January, and then we have a meeting here with the jury, and actually Stefan is one of the member. He's
Oh.
Yes, he's coming over.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's coming over. Peter Lerch will be here, and we have someone from Belgium as well. They will be the jury to see all the work that is coming back. It's not that 150 cases coming back, usually not. So, but a lot.
Yeah.
And then they have to select, and they have a pointing system and to create the winner in the end. And yeah,
And then that winner is announced at IDS.
yes.
That's exciting.
And we do that. It's I think the 13 times that we have done that now.
Yeah, we need to get more people in the U.S. to know about it. I didn't know about it. I bet you a lot of people would
You
go
don't do
try it out.
dentures, so
Well, yeah, there's that. But I also talk to a lot of people, so you think I would have heard about it. Interesting.
yeah, I think because the people really like it, and of course we show them all the winners on the website. We post it then on Instagram and Facebook, and they really like it.
Yeah, I'll definitely put a link up to this on this episode show notes. Not only do you get to see some beautiful dentures, but I guess there's a link to maybe sign up and get notice when the next one starts.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be really good. And,
Absolutely.
because there are a lot of people who like to show what they can do.
Absolutely. Just don't ask me to pronounce the name of this contest.
Yeah,
Kunst.
Kunst.
Zahnwork?
Yeah. It's actually when I translate it, it's like it's a German word composition. You know, it's like Kunst is like art, and Zahn is tooth.
Yep, that I knew.
And Werk is work.
Nice. You guys and your word combinations.
Yeah, and we kept it that way because it was a brand for us, and the people know that all over the world. So we kept that in German. Kunsthandwerk competition. We added the competition so you understand that.
Yeah. So at least I know what I'm looking at.
Yeah. No, this is really famous, and we really keep that competition up because it's always nice what the people do and with details, and when they come up with solutions, and they bring on their own ideas in a way that they take our densities and put gold on there and that too, and to make it more as it sometimes in the past was like you had gold teeth and a little bit gold on it, and it's really nice. So
I will say, and I know I hate to be referencing a website when I'm on the podcast because I know people aren't looking at a website when they're listening to us, but the top 3 places for 2021 are kind of highlighted on this website. And you're telling me that all 3 of these cases have the same mold of tooth? Because they all look completely different. Like there's so much characterization in these teeth. It's amazing. It's like I never would have even guessed they're all from the same company.
Yeah, it really is. So
it's unbelievable. They did a nice job.
Yeah.
So coming up, probably a few weeks after this airs, we got Lab Day Chicago. Does Candulor participate in Lab Day?
Yes, we do. We have a small booth. A colleague of mine will be there, and likes to present our products, our company, our education part, the Swiss school, together with someone from Edmunds Dental Supply, who represents and sells our products, of course. And you can get in touch with our people there to get to know Candulor more, of course.
Anything being announced or any new product coming out or something that people should check out?
As we are a tooth company, we invented actually, especially for the North American market, a few more shades from one tooth line we already had, and calling Fusius Set TCR. And we have 18 extra shapes made just for the North American market because there was a demand that we saw in the market from customers, from our partners, and we created them in that reliable TCR material. So we will present it in Chicago, and actually it's a really big tooth line now then because there are 48 anteriors that you can get in this tooth line out of one material. And we always say these tooth lines, or this tooth line actually, is a more age appropriate anterior tooth shapes. Next to that, we have actually a tooth line that calls Physio Select. So almost the same from the same material. And these shapes are look more younger, but the same material. So you get out of that material 68 anteriors tooth shapes.
68 different shapes?
Yes.
That sounds like a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, I'm not a denture technician, but I've seen tooth molds, and I don't remember ever seeing 68 of them.
The one tooth line is on the gray plate, and the other tooth line with the younger ones, so that looks younger, is on the red plate. So you can't miss it, and you can decide between these tooth lines. And this is what we present in Chicago as a tooth company, of course, and that stands for removable.
Well, what about the shift into digital?
So I knew the question would come up.
Yes. Yeah, it has to. It has to. I mean, you've been doing this for 80 years.
Yes.
Digital's here. It's going to be the way. How does Candulor kind of keep up on that? What are your plans?
It's a good question. We have been looking actually into the markets all the time and thought about that, what we will do. And at the beginning, we didn't see a need that we have to do something. We know that the technician has to decide how he would like to work.
Sure.
At the end. So the technician decides and the clinicians as well. And what we will do in the future, of course, we will provide material in the part of removable that will satisfy our technicians and clinicians to work in a digital way too. So it will come something, but not in Chicago. But later on this year, we will launch something. So, but not yet.
But you're not going to give up on the analog products.
No, we don't.
That is what a lot of companies, no, I'm not going to say, that is what some companies have done.
We see that too. And I know there is the dental industry going in a digital way, and we don't close our eyes. So, and we know that. But I think there will always be both ways, and or a hybrid solution. So for us, it's still a good way to produce or to manufacture dentures in an analog way. But if a dental laboratory wants to have Candulor products for a digital process, of course, you should get that from our site.
Yeah.
If he thinks that is the best way to produce a denture. But as I said, it's a decision for the dental technician in the end, how he would like to work.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Because I don't think analog for removables is ever going to go away, honestly.
Yeah.
I just think there's going to be a shift. What do you see? Do you think it's digital dentures is being pushed more in Europe or the U.S.?
From my personal opinion and perspective, I think it's pushed more in the US. This is, but just
I had a feeling. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah,
it's just my opinion or my perception what I see in the media.
Sure.
But I talk to people and even to dental technicians, even in the States, and they said, "Yeah, you can do it, but you don't have to."
Yeah. No, that's a great. I've heard that. Yeah.
Because you still can create great dentures, achieve great results in an analog way. And if you have find your process, why should you change that for yourself?
Don't fix it if it ain't broken.
Yeah, and of course, if you want to create something different to try out, and I do understand that, and it's in other branches as well. That even in art and design, and was it always there to go digital and not to draw anymore on the paper? But there's still artists out there that draw on the paper and not on the screen. And that's the same way in our industry. There is a way to go digital, but you don't have to. You decide, or the dental technician decides how you would like to work. And this is where we go as well. So we would like to have customers. They rely on a brand like Candulor from Switzerland. And if they wish products in that direction, they get these products in that direction too. But of course, in our quality, in our shades, and like the 34 that we said before.
So before we sign off, you mentioned in the U.S., which is a majority of our listeners, Candulor you get from Edmunds Dental Supply, right?
Yes. This is our support. This is our partner there. You can order there our products. That's the best way to start, to try.
Okay. But you can also check out candor.com,
Yes.
and that will get you links to wherever country you happen to be in. We'll show you where you can get it.
Yeah.
Awesome. This is some fascinating stuff, Alexander. Thank you so much.
And if you would like to go for education worldwide, as you said before, you go on ssop.swiss.
ssop.swiss. Perfect. I encourage everyone, check it out. Man, sounds like you guys got well coverage over the removable parts, pieces, and education.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alexander. Appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, for having this little, actually, it's almost done an hour, short conversation. And yeah, it was fun. And yeah, for sharing all the moments and information.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It was a good story. I learned a lot about a company. Like I mentioned, I had no idea. So. Appreciate it, sir. We'll talk to you later.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Outside of the podcast, I actually have a real job. I know, it's hard to believe. I get to work directly with dental offices to provide amazing smiles to patients. But don't we all? But I do it with data instead of a handpiece or a mill. I use data that most labs already have but don't know how to access it or use it. Enter iCortica. ICORTICA. If your lab is already using Magic Touch, great, you're halfway there. If you aren't, then go get Magic Touch just so you can use iCortica. It will be worth it. Let's be honest, access to easy-to-understand information is the key to any sales or customer service position. Did I mention that they have bar graphs? This is exactly what iCortica does for me on a daily basis. Every morning, I wake up to an email showing me the risks and the opportunities across all of the customers. I can then dive in to see specific customer information and look at so much like sales by product, trends by category or restoration. I can see all the notes and I can even see the remake percentage. It allows me to know who I should talk to about what without having to spend hours digging into production software or making a ton of Excel spreadsheets. It's all right there. Every metric I need to be successful. So do yourself and your lab a favor and head over to icortica.com/voices or send Rob Nozell an email at rob@icortica.com and start understanding your dental offices in a way you never had before. Check out this episode's show notes for all of those links, and we thank you for your support of the podcast, iCortica, and I personally thank you for making my job easier.
Big thanks to Alex for coming on our podcast and talking to Elvis without me about Candulor. I'm really, really sorry that I missed it, but I did learn a lot from the conversation, as I always do. I didn't know much about Candulor or that Edmunds Dental Supply is the only place in the U.S. to get it. If you want to learn more about all the things that Alexander talked about, be sure to head over to Candulor.com, and that's spelled Candulor.com, and check out his fancy website that he designed. And there's also a link to see where you can get their products no matter what country you're in. But it's the education that is truly amazing. We had the U.S. instructor, Stefan, from Edmunds Dental Prosthetics back on episode 147. Can you believe that, Elvis? That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
But if you're interested in getting some top-notch education, head over to ssop.swiss to see the list of classes and the dates. And again, thank you, Alexander, for coming on our podcast.
It really was a great conversation. We learned a lot.
Yep.
Awesome, everybody. That's all we got for you, and we will talk to you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Let me pull this up on my phone. All right.